The Mason Deerfield Chamber is thrilled to introduce you to the 10 businesses who have been selected as the 2021 Esprit de Corps honorees.
Mason and Deerfield Lifestyle is a publication that comes out monthly and goes to many homes in our community. We share the good, positive news of what's going on in the schools, nonprofits, and local businesses. And we also help local businesses share their story through advertising and stories online and through social media as well. We've been around the community for a little over 3.5 years now, and we're looking to continue to grow and really continue to share and be the voice of our community.
Graydon's a full-service law firm. We have offices located throughout the greater Cincinnati area. We've been serving in our community for 150 years. This year marks our 150th year as a law firm.
Yost Pharmacy, we've been in Mason 76 years now. Started in 1945 with our grandfather, and have seen it through my dad buying it, and then my sister Sarah and I buying it in 2013.
So Benchmark Digital was formerly known as GenSuite. We are a provider of a environmental, social, governance, digital management systems platform called Benchmark ESG, powered by GenSuite, our heritage architecture and platform. And what we do is enable companies to manage their sustainable business activities, reporting, and other compliance-related functions using our platform in areas like environment, health, and safety, sustainability, as well as product stewardship, responsible sourcing, and allied areas.
The Warren County Educational Service Center is the largest provider of services to at-risk students and disabled students in Southwest Ohio. We have a staff of about 700 employees who serve about 15,000 students every school year, and we currently work with between 70 and 75 school districts from across about 8 or 9 counties.
So Flagel Huber Flagel is a regional CPA firm. We have offices in Kettering, Ohio, and here in Cincinnati, just south of the border into Mason and Deerfield Township. We've been in business since 1933 as a CPA firm, providing services mostly to privately held businesses, generally small to medium-sized businesses and their business owners as well.
Manor House was opened in 1998 by Bill and Kathy Kinane, and they owned the business until 2018 when Jen and I bought the business in June of 2018. So we've owned the business for approaching 3.5 years. We specialize in all kinds of events, but primarily weddings. We do quite a few weddings every year. About 75% of the people that have the reception here actually get married here, since we have such beautiful grounds. And we do quite a few corporate events for big companies and small companies, meetings and training sessions, that type of thing. And then we do a number of private events, such as special birthday parties, anniversary parties, graduations. We do high school proms and that type of event.
We are the Greater Ohio Virtual School, and we are a dropout prevention and recovery school in the state of Ohio. We serve the entire state of Ohio, but most of our students come from about 50 miles around Warren County, Butler County, Claremont County, in this area. We are a real high school. We graduate about 130 to 150 students a year. We have about 30 or 40 teachers that work with the students. We have about the same amount of tutors that work with students too. And new this year is this great facility, and this is our Student Center. And this is a place where students can come to get resources. So if they want to talk to a guidance counselor, they can come in here and talk. If they want mental health services, they can come here to find somebody to help them. We have academic coaches that are assigned to all of our students who track their attendance and grades and establish some rapport with our kids and make sure that they're doing their work, because all of our curriculum is delivered virtually. We are a virtual school. This school has been around since the early 2000s. It was started by Tom Isaacs and John Lazarus in the early 2000s and has grown. We have about 500 students right now, and by the end of the year we'll have probably about 700 or 800 students. And the population changes every year. We have students that come to us because they want a second chance chance. Maybe they've had some truancy problems or some discipline problems, or we have students that just want a different non-traditional type of education, and they can come here too. But again, we like to hang our hat on the fact that we graduate almost 50% of our students every year, and for a dropout prevention and recovery school, of which there are 70 in the state, that is near the top of graduation rates in the state of Ohio, and that's the Greater Ohio Virtual School.
People's First Savings Bank is known to be the oldest bank in the city of Mason. Being started in 1909 as a savings and loan, today People's First Savings Bank is a $70 million community bank with big bank options.
Westchester Hospital is a full-service hospital. We opened in the community in 2009. We are associated with UC Health, which really makes us special in the sense that we have access to full subacute specialists, bringing physicians from the downtown area to this region, which allows patients to stay in the region and stay close to their family members.
When I started working on the magazine, the first decision that I knew I needed to make was to join the Chamber. I thought it would be a great way to get the company name out there and also connect with local businesses, and 4 years later I know it was one of the best decisions I made for our company. Throughout the years I've been able to work with the Chamber and join their ambassador group. The group helps welcome new members, goes to ribbon cuttings, helps with events, and really our goal now is to really get member engagement and get community and businesses together, working together on projects and getting them involved.
Graydon's been a partner with the Mason Deerfield Chamber even before its rebirth. It's been a really important organization for us because it allows us to give back to the community in really meaningful ways. The platforms that Sherry and her team have created really give us access to different means to do good in our community and to connect with like-minded businesses that are interested in making our region thrive.
I'm on the board of directors with the Chamber. I'm going into my fourth and final term. We've been in the Chamber since its inception as a business and work mostly with the downtown community, trying to assist with revitalization and support and relationship building.
Thrilled to be part of the Mason Deerfield community. Joined the Chamber really because we wanted to be along with where many of our team members reside and certainly where we come into work every day until at least the last 18 months.
So the Educational Service Center here in Warren County attempts to partner with as many nonprofits as possible within our county. We are a member of every Chamber of Commerce in Warren County. And in particular, we have just found a lot of benefit by working with the businesses who partner with the Mason Deerfield Chamber of Commerce. And whatever opportunities come along where we can partner in Mason and Deerfield are the kinds of things that we very much value doing. And we see great value from the MAID Chamber and the work that you do to promote the Mason and Deerfield communities.
I looked at the Chamber as a great opportunity to expand our footprint and exposure in the marketplace here, and it has certainly proven to be the case here. Quickly after getting involved with the Chamber, really more or less from a marketing perspective for my business and networking, became apparent to me the great service and opportunities that the Chamber provides to its membership and the businesses in the community. And from that point on, really immersed myself in activities with the Chamber, got involved, joined the board, eventually became both treasurer and board chair, served on the board for 10 years and then rotated off the board. And also became further involved with the Chamber through its Government Affairs Executive Council, and then also the sister organization to the Chamber, the MAID CDC.
Once we bought Manor House, I've always been involved with the Chamber, helping with fundraisers, attending their galas. but Sherry Taylor came to me and asked me to become a board member, and so I accepted, and for the past 2 years I've been on the MAID Chamber and happy to be a part of that.
As a member of the community, we've got 2 facilities now here in the community. We want to be an active part of the community because we know that many of our students are going to graduate, and if they don't go into post-secondary work, they can go right into the workforce here. So we take that job very, very seriously because we want to make sure that we're putting out students that are going to contribute to the community around here. So that is the reason that we got into working with the Chamber, and they have been fantastic every step of the way, supporting us through thick and thin, and making us connect with other businesses in the community. That's a big one for us as well because we want to find jobs for our students, whether they are looking for a job when they graduate, or many of our students are over the age of 18 and come to us because they need a full-time job and they still need to do their work. So the relationships that we have formed with businesses through the MAID Chamber is one of the key reasons that we continue to work with them.
I've been a member of the board of directors with the Chamber for the last 7 years, serving in the capacity as treasurer. We also are a downtown Mason supporter of the Chamber, as well as a sponsor of the Chamber's Connections MAID events.
Westchester Hospital actually joined MAID back in 2007 before we actually built the hospital. It was that important that we joined early on so we could get integrated into the community. Personally, I have been involved with the Chamber Board for several years, and I've been the board chair for the last 3 years.
While our 2021 Esprit de Corps honorees range from healthcare to education and law, they all have the common belief that being a part of the Mason Deerfield Chamber is important to their organizations.
What I see as what the Chamber does well and why it's so important and why we've committed significant investment in the way of dollars as well as time and effort involved in the Chamber is just, it is the only organization really that is dedicated specifically to the health and well-being of the business community. You know that that's the objective of everything the Chamber does, so extremely important for us to be involved in doing that. That's so well aligned with the goals and objectives and system of beliefs that Huber-Flagle has in support of our clients, that it's just natural that we should be involved with the Chamber and what they do in the same way to support the business community. And that really showed itself in the last couple of years, in particular with the pandemic and the impact that that had on the business community and what the Chamber was able to do to rally and support the business community, which no one else really did in any material and consistent way, the way that the Chamber did.
Chamber is really important for Graydon and me personally because of the local businesses that make up our Chamber. It is a really dynamic business community and one that we've seen in the last 18 months that protects its own and lifts each other up. And I think without the Chamber, we would not be in the position that we are in our community.
We, and our type of school, is built on partnerships, whether it's partnerships with other schools, because we take students from all schools all over the state of Ohio. We want to make sure that those schools understand we're not stealing students, we're just there to help students if they're not going to make it or if they need a change of pace or change of view. But those partnerships help us with other partnerships. As I had mentioned, we are looking to help kids get jobs, and that is huge for us. We want to make sure that if a student comes to us at 18 years of age and has dropped out of school and need a job to support a family that they might be having or starting, that we can help them find that job. So the relationship with the Chamber in this area in particular is really, really important because we have to have those same partnerships that we have with the schools. We have to have those with local businesses too. So when we have a kid that comes in and goes, man, I really, really need a job, we can have a list of different employers that we can go to and say, hey, can you help us out here? This is a great young man trying to get his diploma, or a great young lady trying to get her diploma, and they need a job to help get us through.
We feel it's important to be a member of the Chamber as most of our business comes within 10 miles of Manor House, whether it's private people having weddings or private events or corporations that are located within Mason. We do some business outside those areas, but most of our business comes from that area. So We try to have a good relationship with the people that live around here, the businesses and the individuals, and networking is very important for our business. People like doing business with people they know, so part of our goal is to become known in the community, and one method we do that is through the Chamber.
Being a part of the Chamber really helps connect us, whether it be to local businesses or just getting involved with community service projects and just giving back and just, again, wanting to build and provide a better community for all, whether it's businesses, residents, families, anyone who comes to Mason area. We want to make sure that the business area is thriving, and that's what we can do with the Chamber, and that's what the Chamber's done for me and my company.
One of the things we love about the MAID Chamber really is its progressive and inclusive approach and just its persona. I've always been impressed by Sherry and the team and the kind of inclusive and welcoming organization that the Chamber has been. When we first expanded our offices here, I remember Sherry and the board members came over, and it was really the first time that I had met in person with anybody from the Chamber, and I was instantly attracted to the organization. It just felt like a good family kind of atmosphere. I wanted to be part of it, and certainly got to know Sherry over time, some of the other board members as well, and it's just been a great association. I think obviously the area has a very broad range of companies, from ours in the IT space to pharmacies and restaurants and a whole diversity of businesses, and that's what makes it exciting. It isn't a one-dimensional organization. It is multidimensional and multifaceted, and very human-oriented, I felt.
Being a part of the Chamber increases the bank's visibility in the community and also brings credibility to the institution.
I think it's important for local businesses to be involved in the Chamber, to develop a team of businesses that can support each other and work together to build community and grow the community and the local business structure.
A favorite phrase of the past 18 months has been to adapt and adjust, and our 10 honorees have done just that.
From a school district point of view, we have been very, very active in the area of working with our local Department of Health. None of us had ever done that work before, and all of a sudden we've found ourselves being partners with a public health agency, and so we've been involved with learning about COVID, learning about the spread of COVID, learning how to do contact tracing in our schools, learning how to determine whether a person has been exposed to COVID, whether a person has symptoms associated with COVID. And so everything in the last 18 months has been new. And really what we've learned more than anything is we need each other. Teamwork is what makes us successful. And in the past 18 months, we could not be successful if we did not have good team members working around us to support everything that we do together.
One thing I've learned is just resiliency and being flexible. We're in the business of treating people, and COVID was really something that was tough to treat. So kind of had to pivot and learn how to help people prevent and stay healthy and mask up and vaccinate and take their supplements and get in their exercise and eat healthy and all that kind of stuff, and just become more of a support to people than to be a cure or a solution. So it was definitely a different take on things for us.
I think it also teaches everyone to value each other as a staff, as employees, because we've all had to pivot, take on different roles, do different things at different times than what we're used to, and you can't do it without all of your staff being willing to pivot and support with you.
The thing I've learned in the last 18 months that we've put into practice here is that people follow actions and not titles. And I think that is liberating for people, that we can all lead in our own ways and that we can all contribute good in our community. And it doesn't matter what our title is, we all have the capacity to do good and to lift up others.
Like everybody else, in the last 18 months have been tumultuous. Certainly started out with a lot of uncertainty about what we were faced, what the economy was going to look like, what was our community going to look like, what was our personal health going to look like. And I think we certainly did a step back, and we got together. And some of the things that struck me about this period really have been about human ingenuity and resiliency. I think we found out for ourselves what we can do when we work together, when we decide that we are going to keep each other safe and we're going to do the right things to ensure that we can continue to do our mission. Our mission in our particular case is to continue to operate a platform that is ensuring that that employees in workplaces are able to work safely.
With COVID coming to our business a year after we bought Manor House, that has been a challenge for us. We looked at all of our employees and asked them to participate in how can we save money. Our business was affected by 50% of our sales. And so we had to look at pivoting to other means of income, and that's where our chef thought of family meals, outside catering. So we did what it took to get through those 18 months, and now in 2021, things have really come back, and we're doing about 160 weddings this year. We're looking to grow that corporate business back, and hopefully booking holiday parties for December.
Something that I've learned over the past 18 months, 2 years with all the pandemic stuff was really just connecting with the community and pouring into it. You really do get out what you put in. It's been great seeing the way that the community has come together to support local businesses and families in need, and it's been just truly an honor to be a part of this community and look forward to continuing being a part and sharing that story for years to come.
Over the last 18 months with the pandemic, what we have learned as an organization, and myself, is really how important it is to be prepared for the worst. We always hope for the best, prepare for the worst, so that we are ready to react and act responsibly and responsively to issues like this that are really unpredictable. The impact, the devastating impact that this pandemic had on our clients and our business required us to act quickly and decisively, to research information adequately, to push that information out and communicate with our clients effectively. So all those things required us to be prepared to jump on that.
Resiliency. I can't tell you the amount of meetings we've had where, in every school across the world has sat down and said, well, how are we going to do this? Well, how are we going to do that? How are we going to help kids here? How are we going to help kids re-engage? How are we going to get to students when we have this roadblock in front of us? And really over the past 2 years, those roadblocks that the pandemic have brought about have really made us get creative. Made us get resilient. There hasn't been any roadblock that we've come into contact with that we haven't been able to get around and still get the kids. As I mentioned before, this past year we graduated 135 or 130 students. The year prior, in the middle of the pandemic when everything shut down, we graduated 170 students. And we did that virtually, meaning that all of our office workers even were at home getting kids to graduate. So we are very confident now that whatever is in front of us, we should be able to attack and get around, over, under, however we can get through it to get to kids and give them an education, and that's what we're passionate about. So resiliency is what we have learned over the past couple of years because of the pandemic.
Over the last 18 months, People's First Savings Bank has learned how to serve our community and our customers better remotely over the course of COVID.
I've learned that this is an amazing community, and that our employees really rally around our community. So during this tough pandemic time, our employees, our physicians, our volunteers have really stepped up, and it's because they've heard that calling from the community and the need. So that has always blown me away, and we really do love our community here.
I've kind of lately been using the quote, "It's not the load, it's how you carry it," because the load has been different. It's been a lot more, you know, taking on vaccines and testing, and in addition to all the additional phone calls and questions. On top of that, short-staffed. It just means a lot more hours, and it's hard to forget that it's really a privilege to serve this community when you're working so much. And so, you know, you carry that load with some gratefulness that you have this position, that you have this job, that you've got a successful business, and you've got people next to you that are working just as hard, employees that are staying late with you, getting there early, doing what it takes to take care of people. It just helps me keep my mind in a grateful frame of mind rather than one that just is overwhelmed.
The mantra that I have, I think, repeated the most to myself in the last 18 months is fade the noise that deters you from doing good. And I don't know that that really needs an explanation.
So, you know, it's an old Sanskrit phrase. It's from the Bhagavad Gita. It's something that I have kept with me for many years. And it's very simple. It just basically, it's almost common sense. But sometimes we get too wrapped up in things and don't realize it. But it basically says, you know, we have the power only to act and not over the results. So therefore, we must take action without the prospect of the result and also without succumbing to inaction. So it basically means, you know, figure out what needs to be done. Don't get turned off by what might or might not happen, and just go do your thing, and things will inevitably work out. You will find a way to work them out.
We're stronger together. I think it's really shown what we can do when we all come together. We bring our different strengths together and what the outcome can be.
As far as kind of a mantra that that I personally have followed through this recent crisis really comes from Scott Jones from Graydon in our work as we had done in the MAID CDC, really around don't let the perfect prevent the good. So basically that, you know, don't allow yourself to not act quickly and decisively trying to make something perfect and get the perfect solution, that in certain situations it's important to get out and do something that is still going to be positive. It may need tweaking later on, but at least you have done something and shown your support. And I think that was so important with the way that the chamber reacted and came to the rescue, if you will, of our business community. Some of the programs that were implemented needed to be adjusted and altered later on, but the business community knew that they had somebody that had their backs, and that was so critical in a situation like this.
I don't know that it's a quote or a mantra that we use, but we end up saying it at every meeting. Well, let's figure it out. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but that's literally something that is said at almost every single meeting when we come to some type of obstacle that's happened about pandemic or anything really in general. But we have found a way to continue to serve students throughout the state and get kids to graduate. So just give us some time and we'll figure it out.
We will continue to fulfill our mission despite what curveballs are thrown at us. The community has been great to us, and we love our community.
R. Mukund, Benchmark Digital Partners.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Dave, and we're from Yost Pharmacy.
Hi, my name is Tom Isaacs, and I'm the superintendent of the Warren County Educational Service Center.
I'm David.
I'm Janet. We're with Manor House.
This is Tom Diskalakis with Westchester Hospital.
Hi, I'm Mark Andrea, and I'm the owner of Mason Deerfield Lifestyle Magazine.
I'm Randy Kuven, managing partner of Flegel Huber Flegel.
I am Sean Linney with the Greater Ohio Virtual School.
I am Ryan McCurley with People's First Savings Bank.
I'm Scott Jones from Graydon, and Graydon is a 2021 Esprit de Corps honoree.